What is up, everybody? Solomon here. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic Sunday. I said if there was news today, I would certainly present it, and there is news today. This is Project HBAR. This is an initiative that is a joint initiative via the Saudi Central Bank and the Central Bank of the UAE, a joint digital currency and distributed ledger project. Now, first and foremost, I did want to get into this. Just if you are not aware, Saudi Arabia's central bank signs blockchain deal with Ripple. This is in 2018, February. This is a pilot. This is from Dubai. Saudi Arabia's central bank has signed a deal with US-based Ripple to help banks in the kingdom settle payments, utilizing blockchain software as Gulf regulators begin to explore new forms of financial technology. The pilot program is the first of its kind to be launched by a central bank, allowing banks in Saudi Arabia to utilize Ripple software to instantly settle payments sent into and out of the country, the company said late on Wednesday. This is important for this Project HBAR where we are about to go here, into and out of the country. Very much so cross-border payments and remittances via these banks, right? You will see why that's important here in a second. This Project HBAR, which was just released probably about 10 hours ago, mentions directly that the qualification criteria for this initiative did not utilize Ripple and Stellar due to them not meeting the criteria. Note that public blockchain protocols such as Ripple and Stellar, which are often positioned for cross-border remittance use cases, were ruled out because of the obvious need for permissioning and privacy for an interbank payments use case, which these protocols did not support. Application of the qualification criteria resulted in shortlisting of the following 3 distributed ledger technology platforms or protocols. Now, the 3 distributed ledger technology platforms or protocols that were shortlisted in this list between the Saudi Central Bank and the Central Bank of the UAE were R3 Corda. We know that Corda Settler can utilize XRP. Hyperledger Fabric. We know that Hyperledger Quilt has a Java implementation of Interledger Protocol, which was invented by Ripple, a value agnostic protocol. And JP Morgan's coin Quorum, or the Quorum Network, however you want to say it. So Ripple was not included in this. This talks about the UTXO model, but I wanted to get into a couple of things here. And again, I just saw this for the first time today as well. But, you know, this is some of the conclusions that they made from this initial assessment between this joint initiative here. Hyperledger Fabric and Corda-based solutions, by virtue of scoring higher in the production readiness dimension, were considered more enterprise ready than Quorum-based ones. So Hyperledger Fabric, or they use the acronym HLF, are more enterprise. Hyperledger Fabric and R3's Corda are more enterprise ready than JP Morgan's solution. The approaches that use zero knowledge proofs for validation do not scale very well with a number of network participants due to being computationally expensive. Solutions that utilize built-in privacy features of a platform should be preferred to reduce solution complexity and reduce risk in trying to create one's own crypto schemes or similar. The Hyperledger Fabric-based solution was the only one that concurrently satisfied the privacy, decentralization, and safety requirements of the pilot. Now, this is a fascinating document, though. I mean, they go into quite a bit here. This is a very, very long document as well. I think it's like 92 pages long. So if you want to read through this, you certainly can. It talks a lot about R3 Corda as being one of the 2 main initiatives that are going to be brought about in this. But Hyperledger Fabric satisfied all results, so I would tend to lean toward them utilizing Hyperledger. Now, this talks about Jasper. This talks about Project Stella, which is the Bank of Japan and the European Central Bank. You know, all the phases. So this is Project Ubin. Talks about all of these initiatives. Jasper Ubin, which I've presented about as well. Project Coca, South African Reserve Bank. And, you know, what I did want to say, though, if you were not aware, announcing Hyperledger Quilt version 1.0, Interledger for the Java platform. This is Quilt for Enterprise. This is directly on Hyperledger's website. All of us at Hyperledger and Spring, which was a Ripple initiative, are incredibly excited about the new platform we're building on top of Interledger. So this is a joint initiative as well. It will be fun to see what gets built on top of Quilt, especially for enterprise DLT use cases like connecting currently disconnected fabric networks together utilizing Interledger. So we will see where that goes. But, you know, we always present the positives and the negatives. I'm not necessarily saying that this is a negative. This is the internet of value, people. I mean, I am not an advocate for stating that XRP is going to be the one world currency, because in my opinion, that's complete nonsense. Will XRP certainly thrive due to utility in certain use cases? In my opinion, yes. We know the banking relationships that are there, but these banks are trying to swim instead of sink right now. And they know from a privacy standpoint what they need. They have these certain things that they're looking for. Luckily enough, we do have like Hyperledger out there. We have R3 out there, you know, these enterprise-ready solutions that can facilitate certain things as far as privacy is concerned. Now, Ripple itself, you know, they're selling software solutions to bank also. But, you know, for the XRP use case, they're very much so focused on cross-border payments, remittances right now. Who are we to say that at some point, you know, we don't get into the smart contract space, which we are about to get into within the next couple of weeks? Who's to say that at some point we're not going to go get into the privacy space? I don't know. I don't know what's being developed upon the XRPL. All we can do is take what these banking institutions are telling us via their actual initiatives where they're joining up and doing these types of things, and try to present the news as factual as possible. I'm sure there will be people that state factually that XRP is going to be utilized in this use case, and that would be a lie because they're stating that Ripple isn't. However, there is a potential, you know, because R3's Corda settler utilizes XRP, and we know that Interledger is integrated into Hyperledger Quilt from the Java perspective, which obviously integrates into Hyperledger Fabric as well. So I'm curious to see where this goes. I just found this, you know, literally while I was looking into this, and just to give you guys a heads up, all right, I'm going to move through here real quick, but there are multiple UAE Ripple partners as well. Unimoni is one. Enabler's UAE Exchange. UAE Exchange is a Ripple partner. I can't remember if UAE Exchange is ODL or not. National Bank of Fujairah, which I'm probably not pronouncing that right. UAE Bank. There are tons of Ripple partners in the UAE as well. So I'm curious to see where all this shakes out. All right, for everybody that is on Patreon, thank you for being patient. I tried to take a little bit of a break over the 4 days here for Thanksgiving. I am certainly going to be presenting similar things to what I'm about to present right now, but you know, we're going to try to find more assets here. We're going to try to do some teamwork, and I'm going to take your guys' recommendations, and I'm going to certainly try to find every little bit of info that I can possibly find, as well as trying to find my own assets also. So, you know, this is something that I'm looking at is the total crypto market capitalization and volume. I'm also looking at assets like Hashgraph, Hedera Hashgraph. You know, we know that Hashgraph does not have a long-term trend necessarily. Go into this. We're looking at like literally like 2019, 23rd of September, right? But we can try to figure out the tops and the bottoms and see when this thing's going to potentially break here. We can also look at the RSI for oversold and overbought conditions. And we can look at the moving averages, at least the information that we possibly have. It's interesting to see that like these trend lines continuously touch here. And it looks like Hashgraph is going to make a decision here in the very near future. So I'm curious what that decision is. I would hope that it breaks to the upside. I would imagine if the crypto market takes off that it certainly would, but we never know. You know, this is Hashgraph to Tether. Essentially the USD. It's the longest chart for Hashgraph that I could find. It's not the USD chart, but Tether essentially maintains a 1-to-1 ratio with the dollar, even though we all know that there's inherent problems with Tether as well. You know, you could also chart Hashgraph to Bitcoin, which may be the smarter play here. But total crypto market cap went up to like $582 billion, I believe, and then corrected down all the way to like 500. Now we're sitting right now at about $540 billion. You can chart this as well. I mean, you can see where you're looking at here and where we could potentially be going. Touching base on this bottom trend line. I am not overly concerned about making these charts difficult. I don't chart. I try to keep it as simple as possible. I am looking for, oh shit, let me get out scenarios, or, you know, when can I potentially be looking to sell a portion, at least to cash out, so that whatever I initially invested in is gone, and now everything else is almost risk-free for me. That's what I'm looking for in this market. And I'm certainly going to be presenting additional digital assets this week. I plan on going through a firestorm worth of digital assets over the upcoming week here. We had a couple days off over the Thanksgiving holiday. It's time to get back on the horse and take a ride into the deep diving again here with some additional assets. So I've got a lot of recommendations from people. I'm certainly going to be doing those. And also, I did want to, just say that, let me see if I'm okay to do this. Okay, yeah. So, Fame21 More, XRP Darren actually and I have been talking recently, and he just texted me and said I'm okay to do this. We're going to probably be doing some sort of a joint platform in the very, very near future where we both, we're trying to work out exactly how this is going to go. I don't know if it necessarily goes to something like Patreon. I think it may be more of a YouTube initiative to start with. But again, we're still working out the details. I've talked to him multiple times. He's got this macro view down pat, and he is one of the best researchers that I've seen in this space, period. And I hope that my research can stand up to his. I know I've found some stuff in the past, but we're all trying to find the same thing in this space. But we are going to have a joint initiative that we're going to be rolling out here. I'm hoping before the end of the year. We obviously want to have it take off before this bull market takes off. But certainly it doesn't matter regardless, because we're just going to be presenting what we find anyways. So I wanted to give you guys a heads up. I'm super excited to be directly working with him. I've been talking to this dude for like over a year and a half now. We shoot messages back and forth all the time about our thoughts and stuff on different digital assets. And I think that it will be valuable to present some of this information to the community as well. So we will see where that goes. So just a heads up, at Fame21 More, Darren Moore on Twitter and YouTube. If you don't follow him, Darren is on YouTube. He does a fantastic job. I'm sure all of you know him. So we're going to be doing that in the near future as well. So let's pay attention to this. And Project HBAR, again, UAE Central Bank and the central bank, or Saudi Central Bank, essentially narrowing it down to R3's platform and Hyperledger. But it looks like Hyperledger has the lead right now. So we will see where this goes. And I will present news tomorrow if it is available to me, whatever I find. And thank you guys on Patreon for being patient for 3 or 4 days. I'm going to get back into it tomorrow. All right, later.